Strategic planning. What I know is, in any place you go, if you fail to plan, then what do? You plan to fail. That's the whole concept that underwrites what strategy is all about.
The fathers of this country actually were very, very serious about the future of this country. And somebody said that why Kenya grew under Kenyatta, Kenyatta 1, not Kenyatta 2. Why Kenya grew under Kenyatta 1 is that he had small children. So every time he was in Gatundu, he would see Uhuru and the others running after grasshoppers in the lawn, which is true, and the guy would think about their future. So the fathers of our country did put a plan in place where they wanted Kenya to go. At that particular time, those guys sat together and decided to draw the future, to shape the future of this country. And when you see Chinua Achebe writing later on in the 70s about a politician in the anthills of Savannah, and that politician is telling people as he campaigns and tells them that we are going to build roads like those in Kenya, it is not fiction. At that particular time, Kenya was Africa's blue-eyed boy. Kenya was the SI unit in Africa. The guys set the standard. The problem we have in this country is leadership. C. Maxwell says that everything rises and falls on leadership. Because we have all thought that leadership is actually a retirement scheme. What do you want to be? I want to be an accountant. So you have to go through the career trajectory up to the top. And then after you have realized everything, now my people have sent me to become an MP. We have not made leadership as a career. We need to turn leadership as a career. Being young leaders, the truth is that you need to start looking at what your country is. We have to start thinking primarily about planning now. We have to see tomorrow now. And if you cannot plan today, no one is going to plan for us. And how are we planning for it? We are not going to meet together as a country, all of us seated on one parade, and start talking about planning going forward. We've got some very good heads, we've got some very good planners. Bill knows of our friend Mugabe, who says that he doesn't need to do some research and so many other things. He will come to Kenya, pick one of those researches we have done, and implement them in Zimbabwe.
I'm really passionate about youth empowerment, and I believe one of the pillars upon which the youth can actually move this country and the world at large to greater levels is to ensure that they add value in the societies and the communities in which they're in. They can do this by, number one, being entrepreneurs. Secondly, trying to source for various means of funding and support that is so required to ensuring that the MDG goals are actually achieved.
In IYF, we are not only giving many benefits or doing the work of developing the youth in many other materialistic way, but we also do the work of developing the minds of the youth by teaching them and giving them the lectures on the world of the heart. Actually, the heart is something that you cannot see. However, everything comes from your heart. Today, Mr. James, he taught us about that passion. Also, that comes from the heart as well. So accurately, there is that heart. Also, love comes from the heart. Also, the worries comes from the heart. Also, many difficulties also starts from the heart. So therefore, as a leader, what is the most important thing? knowing about the flow of the heart and knowing how to control over your heart, I believe that is the most important thing.
Mentoring is not really, it's not as formal as it is depicted in probably in large organizations or in the organizational kind of setup. Our mentoring is a conversation. So whatever conversation I have with her, which I could have even in 5 minutes, like over lunch hour, we discussed something, and she's now a mentor, she's now on the level of mentorship, isn't it? For me, I already know where to place her. Do you understand? I already know which kind of events to pull her in order to showcase the innate potential I'm seeing in her. Do you understand? So the mentor is someone who you work with, even when you don't know they're adding value, they are adding value. So I love the way Mr. Johan Kim talked about the spiritual aspect of it, because for me, it's, okay, the same relationship you have with God is very much the same that you will have with people in your life on earth. Does it make sense? Because if you value the fact that you're loved unconditionally, it's very easy to love someone else or to give to them without necessarily trying to think of the immediate gain you're getting from them right there and then. So you will be listening. Does it make sense? Now, all of you are leaders, isn't it? So it means you're leading others. Are you? So you're a mentor, you're a peer mentor to others. Do they listen to you? Do they? I can see someone smiling there, wondering whether her people listen to her. But yeah, it's you, I think. Yeah, do they listen to you? Does your team listen to you? You're the people who you lead. Okay, so now at a later point, we said we are going to give you a mentorship session. If you can call it a formal one, it will be just a conversation. Probably I'll be asking her what are her challenges in leadership. All right? Okay. From there, I can help. But without the feedback, I cannot help.
As leaders, we face so many challenges, and some of the challenges are the allocation part of it. Maybe you tell the juniors, do this, maybe they ignore, or maybe they just don't do at all. They do it just anyhowly. What is actually the problem? Is it the leader who is the head, the problem, or the juniors who is the problem? And how can you handle such a challenge?
The first thing you must do is know your people. You need to see who is committed and who has the skills. If they don't have the skills and they're committed, it may not work. If they have the skills but they're not committed, it may not also work. You can grow that commitment by sitting down with them and talking to them on a very personal level. That way you'll be able to, you don't need everyone to lead. Democracies don't work because, some democracies don't work because everybody wants to have their say. But the truth is, if one person is leading and guiding a small team of leaders, then you can be able to run the club.
I can talk from the experience of working in a corporate world about role delegation. Yeah, I have a team. I work with a team, and I know it's quite a challenge working with people from different ideology. What I've learned, my experience is know your people, as she had said, know your people, and then put the people in their right roles. Get their strengths and weaknesses, and then be a good example, be that role model. When they're shouting at you, don't shout back. Relax. I know it can be quite hard. You keep your cool, lead by example, help them grow, and then develop a good communication system. Maybe you do an open door policy. You don't have to close up, but you can only speak to specific people. Listen to everyone. Thank you.
To Paris at the end. She is the only one there who wasn't in OIW. What are you doing to the community? What are you giving back to the community right now? Because we can keep on talking about, how do we get sponsorship to this thing? How do we get to, network whatsoever?
Right now I'm the Vice President of Addo African Leaders Club, and I'm also a think tank member of the MasterCard Foundation. So I'm doing two things. In the African Leaders Club, we have a journal called EALP Journals. It helps young people with their stories from wherever they come from. They write their story, and then we post it to the world and people can read. We also assist in mentoring the Wings to Fly scholars. If you don't know, the Wings to Fly scholars are about 6,000 right now, but like in the next 2 years, there'll be 10,000 young, very talented, very academically talented young guys, but who are from the poorest of poorest backgrounds. They come from the most like destitute states you can think of. Kids who like they're maids, so you save them from that work and take them to school. So we mentor them to get them out of that mindset of being, trampled by the world. You really don't be, the biggest problem with them is not that they're talented or skilled, it's that they feel so inadequate. So we mentor them to try and get them out of that state. And we've been very successful. Around 100 of them have already finished Form 4, and some of them are working with Equity Bank.
If you have this idea, the one that you think that it's actually unique and it's going to benefit the society, exactly is there any other way that you can get people on board other than networking?
The most important thing is when you want to start something, it's all about you. You are the visionary. So because you are the visionary, you're the one who can let that thing go down, or you're the one who can let that thing rise up. So that's also very, very important. But if you yourself think like, hey, when I need to start something, I need to look on Calvin or look on Bilo or look on that, that's one sign of fail. When you start something, it's like, hey, this thing, I own it. Even if these guys tend to like on the way say, hey, I'm going to quit this thing, you can still push it to another level. And I think that's what somebody like James Mwangi, the CEO of Equity Bank, has always used. He has passion towards the banking sector. Thank you.